Hello, everyone. I want to talk to you a little bit today about oil. I wrote my first book in 2000. It was about ADHD. And I was fortunate to discover that trans fat or partially hydrogenated oils interrupted normal fat metabolism in the body, being one of the leading causes of ADHD. So here we go through the new millennium. And now we have individuals that have potential to have dementia, depression, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and other neurologic type of challenges. It almost all can be based on fat metabolism. What's very nice is that science is caught up and we can actually figuratively and literally put a dipstick inside of your body, or like an engine when you check the oil, to find out, and this is probably one of the most important tests you could ever do, especially if a loved one or a family member had Alzheimer's or depression or dementia, because I don't think you want to have that. You know, people eat the food from the same trough, so if your family did that, you could be looking to have that happen to you too. So here's the good news. We have the ability that we could have a lab test done to check your oils. DHA is for the brain. EPA is for the heart. There's another oil called linoleic acid, which is common in sunflower oil and safflower oil. And one of the reasons that we don't promote it to be your primary oil, because it can cause inflammation in your body. Inflammation resulting possible Alzheimer's, dementia, and we're even seeing issues with peripheral neuropathy today. It's all based on metabolism, a metabolic syndrome. So the really, really good news for you is we can test. I had someone recently, she's really very regimented. She wants to be as healthy as she can, but she had too much linoleic oil in her body. And that linoleic oil will cause inflammation. So I talk about this basically in all the different books that I've written, and it will help make a big difference for you to learn more about that. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to talk about flax oil. We have a liquid flax oil and we have it in capsules. Now, various times during the year, people are in the sun, and they might go from northern Ohio or wherever you live in the world, and you go to a warmer climate and you end up getting sun poisoning, fever blisters on your lips. So I was fortunate to understand and create this protocol. It's very easy. You would take up to 6 flax capsules per day. You could start with 2 in the morning, 2 at lunch, 2 at dinner time when you're in the sun. And you're going to want to add some calcium to that. Why, Dr. Bob? Because vitamin D converts the cholesterol in your skin. The sunshine converts the cholesterol in your skin to vitamin D. Vitamin D takes the calcium from your intestine, puts it in your blood. But flax oil takes it from the blood to your skin, protecting you from the damage of skin. So let's talk about flax. Flax is a plant-based oil. There's no marine or animal tissue in this. It's purely plant. So I talk about this in the ADHD book. Your body will take plants and it goes through a system to make what we call long chain fats. EPA for the heart, DHA for the brain. Unfortunately, if you're deficient in vitamin B6, magnesium, or zinc, those are cofactors. You disrupt the pattern, and these plants cannot become the long chain fats. So it's really nice, because I'm going to show you here momentarily, Optimal EFA has a combination of both, plant and marine. So this is a liquid, a nice tasting liquid, has lignans in it. The rule of thumb basically is 1 tablespoon per 100 pounds of body weight. That's just a typical body signal for that. What's nice about the capsules, they don't have to be refrigerated. Now what you do with this is you'd get a skewer, take the top off and mix it really, really good. And we would keep it upside down in a glass container. It's easier to dishwasher glass and get that residual oil out once you're done with the bottle. So Flax oil is a precursor to make long chain fats. It has to go through steps. The next good news for you is there's a blood test that we utilize in the office called the adhd Cardio Plus and the adhd Chem. We have been trained and we are skilled in assessing function by looking at these tests. For example, alkaline phosphatase, I know it's a big word, it's an enzyme. When you look at your labs, it should be 80. If it's less than 80, statistically, you may have not enough zinc. People with large pores on their face, spots on their nails need zinc. Zinc is depleted by eating sugar. So then vitamin B6, I mentioned that. We can look at your liver enzymes, and if they're low, that's a potential body signal you need B6. B6 is commonly deficient in women who are using birth control because it eliminates it from the body. And also, we're seeing more and more individuals with Parkinson's. The meds for Parkinson's can also deplete B6. On the blood test, we can measure magnesium. It's there in the serum. But there's another indirect number called GTTP. And if that's low, you need magnesium. So if you're watching this in the office, you might want to sit around for a while and watch the video over again. And if you're watching this online, you have the opportunity to repeat it. So this is important. I wrote Dr. Bob's Guide to Stop ADHD in 18 days many years ago. I got a lot of flack from that because people thought I was being pretty arrogant to say that we could stop ADHD in 18 days. It was like I was beat up on the internet. But they don't understand physiology. So this is what I learned. If you eat trans fat or partially hydrogenated oils, which is common in breakfast pastries, it used to be, and in peanut butter, it used to be, because it used to be one of the leading causes of ADHD, the half-life of that trans fat is 51 days. So that means if you ate something like a breakfast pastry today that had trans fat in it, it upsets your normal fat metabolism for almost 3 months. And that caused quite a bit of disturbance in individuals. That's one of the reasons that we strongly encourage having the omega test done. So when you do these different tests, whether it be the adhd Chem or the adhd Cardio Plus, we're able to direct you in the correct direction. In other words, we want to help you be happy and healthy. Now, Biotics Research Corporation has Biomega 500 and Biomega 1000. These are marine sourced products. You say, what does that mean, Dr. Bob? They come from the water, they come from the ocean, they come from the sea. Biotics has developed a system of using primarily anchovy and sardine. They're smaller fish. We have learned when you use larger fish, they have the potential to be more toxic. So when we look at your blood tests, there's a lot of different ways we may suggest something, but if your LDL is elevated, and even if your cholesterol is elevated, we may recommend you take a couple of these every day. Now, sometimes I may have someone take 1 or 2 of these at night because there could be potential digestive distress because everybody is different. You don't want to take this if you're taking a blood thinner. So there's 500 milligrams in here, 1,000 in here. And yes, your body has to process this. So if your liver is not up to par, or if you have had your gallbladder out, that's a whole nother lecture just talking about your gallbladder. So if you had your gallbladder out and you're going to take these capsules, you may consider getting Beta Plus. You say, why, Dr. Bob? Because Beta Plus is bovine bile, and your body needs bile, which is like dish detergent, to scrub the oil so it doesn't plug up your blood vessels in your body. So this is a puzzle. And Dr. Kaysen, Dr. Anthony, and myself, we're really good at figuring out putting the pieces back together again. So should just everybody take Biomega 1000 or 500? Not necessarily so, because if you have some emotional issues, maybe if you have depression or anxiety, yes, this could help. Scientifically, probably the best thing to do is have a blood test done and let the team of doctors help assist you on your journey. The last one I want to talk about is optimal EFA. EFA stands for essential fatty acids. So you say, well, Dr. Bob, what about olive oil? I use olive oil. I cook with olive oil. Olive oil is an omega-9 fat. The essential fatty acids, including omega-3 and 6, not olive oil. You said, can I use olive oil? Of course you can use olive oil. You can use avocado oil. You can use rice oil. But the essential fatty acids are omega-3 and 6. And Biotics wisely added black currant seed oil to their formula. And that's really important. So they have plant-based and marine-based. We said, well, Dr. Bob, should I use this versus the other? It just depends on you and your preference. Now, I can tell you from my experience, black currant seed oil is commonly deficient in those of you who might have eczema. Yeah, that's right, eczema. Or maybe a chronic lung problem, or kids that have itchy skin. So we actually have a black currant seed product that's individual by itself, but today I want to talk to you about more of the combination of the omega-3 and the omega-6. If you're having any kind of experience neurologically, pain syndromes, you're just not feeling 100%, your brain's not as sharp as it used to be, consider having some blood tests done. And I'll leave you with this thought. Oil is one of the basic building blocks for all cell membranes in your body. I've had individuals in my life that have gone on the low-fat, no-fat diet. I know there's health institutions out there that promote that. From our experience, could you imagine driving a car and not having oil in the engine? How long do you think that's going to work effectively or efficiently? So we're of the mindset everybody needs oil. Cell membranes are made from oil. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. Bob DiMaria.